going into in a couple of years when they get a bit more, look like they're a bit older. And because there were certain things we started off with NXT with. So I suppose I'm going to say this, so I asked Triple H, what's your vision on this? And we were both watching different things that were on HBO, and I believe, and I could be wrong here, I believe it was Boardwalk Empire at the time. I believe that was what we were watching. And he said to me, I said, what's your vision for this new, whatever we're going to do? He said, when you watch one of those great shows like Boardwalk Empire or Sopranos or all these incredible dramas, and so he said, you can have a bit of everything in that. You can have really serious stuff. You can have a bit of funny stuff. You can have, incredibly, it's all well done. He said, well, that's the vision of what I want this to be, because wrestling can be all kinds of things. But he said, if you watch any of those shows, you never see anyone from the biggest to the smallest of role look out of place. And that was what was going through my mind when looking for talent. How will they fit into this? And they don't have to fit in now. And he, unlike me, and that is still something I'm open-minded to it, and whatever works. But I still have a little thing that if you're, you should look a little bit like a wrestler. And it doesn't matter what you look like. It's not a bodybuilder, certainly not a bodybuilder look, but there's just a bit of how you carry yourself, and it can come in all forms, because there's people that do the exact opposite of that and it works. Again, I can't put a certain explanation on this, but you just should look like you belong in there as part of whatever we're trying to create. And
it's one of those things, you, when you see it, you know it.
You know it, yeah. And or the audience will tell you that. The audience will tell you whether they like it or not, right? So but it does help if you start off looking half the part. If you start off looking half the part, and with, and the way you carry yourself and the way you do certain things, you're going to connect. Every second counts. Every second from the second you walk out to the second you walk back counts. It does, in my opinion, anyway. Some people don't have to worry about any of that. They can just walk out and then just get connected with the fans. A lot of people don't, right? You can have some of the best singers in the world can't put 100 people in a club, and some of the worst will sell out an arena every night. And I'm not using that as to knock anybody in wrestling. It's just whatever connects in the entertainment world, whatever connects, and that's the way it goes. So it was that was my first weekend on the job, and they were there, and eventually I started seeing them, well, not eventually, I kept an eye on them for quite a while, but then they're already going to, they're in Ring of Honor, and then they're going to Japan, and they're doing their own thing, and they've got their own, show on YouTube, and I'm like, good for these lads, good for them. But like they've figured it out, and they figured it out on their own. So